Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel. There's a cross-shaped slot there. I'd say you've got to place a Claymont the Third cross in it. It looks like certain mechanisms I've seen before. I wouldn't be surprised if I had to put the Claymont the Third cross in it. Tell me, Mother, you wouldn't know anything that might save me some time, would you?
That's where you'll have to put the Clement III cross. You insert the cross into the slot, and it will open the iris. You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
What on earth is that? A disc with information engraved in the metal? An iris that should open, I imagine, and blood. Mother? The dried blood. There.
Yes, it's mine. Sorry if I stained everything, but I must admit that, at the time, my thoughts were more on the pain than cleaning up after myself.
Did you succeed in opening this iris?
Yes, by putting the cross on the console and the 3 nails on the disc, the iris opens. It gives access to a hole where I put my hand, thinking I could fully open the iris. There's a handle at the bottom, and as you can see, it didn't turn out very well for me.
There are Roman numerals, Arab numbers, and town names.
Go on, I'm listening. What do you think?
Tell me, I imagine that once we've solved this enigma, the iris opens, right?
Exactly.
On each engraved piece of information, there's a hole. Those are for the nails, right?
That's absolutely right.
All the town names mentioned have something to do with Christ, haven't they? Golgotha, Bethlehem, Nazareth.
Exactly.
Frankly, not much.
It's not going to be easy. So start by fetching all the keys then.
Frankly, not much.
It's not going to be easy. So start by fetching all the keys then.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. Famous cross of Claymont III. Perfect. And one key found. Let's see if I can work it out myself. It looks like a kind of control panel.
You ought to go, Louis. If someone finds us here, the situation might well become seriously complicated.
A Bazant. Christ Crucified by Velasquez. Look, someone's left a note there. Reserved for the Duke of Alcudia. The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near, his brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's alright. The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. Right. Let's see if the statues are in place yet. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. That statue is not positioned correctly. Open sesame. So that's Pandora's box? An urn? Mother seemed worried that I wasn't able to open it. I wonder why. Never mind. Now it's too late. So that's the exegesis of Judas. I hope Mortimer doesn't read it very often, otherwise he's going to notice that someone's stolen it. But that's just too bad. I need it. Caesar's laurel wreath. If Mortimer really is what my mother says he is, it could mean... No, that's impossible. No, not Caesar. Now, given all the relics preserved here, it wouldn't surprise me if Mortimer claimed it was Excalibur. The reign of the Nibelungs. Even if Mortimer is several centuries old, I don't see what part he has in this legend. Right. I've got what I need. Now let's not waste any more time. Right. It's definitely an armillary sphere, but I have to find one that I can take with me. Otherwise, I risk drawing too much attention to my comings and goings. Now, where can I find a smaller one? Petrus, the brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Dear E, I received your last letter. Unfortunately, the Crown informed the Golden Order that I'm...
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. He was the English Prime Minister. This letter dates from 15 years ago now. Madam. Duke Manuel Godoy. Don Quixote. Talking without thinking is like shooting without taking aim. I have to think about that one. Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to. Charles IV of Spain. Now there's no chance of Godoy forgetting who he owes everything to. Brutus and his companions taking an oath to kill Caesar. Golden elixir. Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him. My dear Giuseppe. John the Baptist, youth with a ram, a Caravaggio, a very sensual amber crystals. The Lying Girl by Boucher, Here's a payment. A ruble. I have no time to lose, so I might as well not bother him. His Holiness Pope Pius VI, by Pompeo Petoni. This should help Piaggio feel at home. President George Washington. Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it. My dear George. A fragment of amber.
An armillary sphere. Perfect. That will save me some time. I only hope that he isn't going to realize it right away.
Which four-letter word could open this chest? Painting. It looks unfinished. A piece by Lord Mortimer, I presume. A rather avant-garde technique. The Titan against men. How ironic.
Right. This time, it'll be a lot quicker. If I remember rightly, the code was 1191. Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimor. Gilhelm Trimor. Trimor, an anagram of Mortimer. Wow. Arrogant enough to publish writings on mental control in full view of everyone. I wonder who he's writing for. Weaknesses of the Human Psyche by Gilhelm Trimor. A map of the triangular trade organized by a demon. It makes me want to throw up. If Mortimer's conference is successful, French forces on the North American continent could literally change the balance of competing armies. I don't understand why Washington would let it happen. The conference might be focused on the United States, but Mortimer has an eye everywhere, which is not very reassuring if he really is a demon. It's locked. The map of Europe. Someone's written 26 million in France. It's the estimated population of France. Mortimer knows very well that France has a higher population than its neighbors. He's preparing for it to go to war and knows he can make it happen by stirring up the people. I'm standing in front of a lesson of absolute mastery in military strategy, which is absolutely spine-chilling if it turns out that Mortimer is a demon. Troops are directed towards Italy. I get the feeling that Piaggi's going to be in for a hard time. A chest with a motif representing the alchemical symbol of fire. Van Leeuwenhoek microscope? The most sophisticated microscope there is. When I think of the difficulty the Order had in getting hold of one of these... Who could Mortimer have locked in there? Feathers, pigeons probably. Looks like obsidian or onyx. It must weigh a ton. What on earth could that be? A hand of tarot cards. The Emperor, a symbol of power and stability. Temperance, which expresses a reward. And the Chariot, now that evokes triumph. If this hand is anything to go by, Mortimer's destiny promises to be glorious. There. Those are the nails I was looking for. I noticed they were old and rusty, but I hadn't noticed these traces of... Could that be blood? Is it really the relic of the Holy Cross? I can hardly believe it. Mortimer's interested in black magic. If Mortimer really is a demon, I wonder what he could be doing with all this. All right, come on, let's get out of here. 6466, if I remember correctly. Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Cliché. A Congratulations for your efforts, Washington. I see that the great did well trust you. What can I do for you?
I'm dreaming. My mother was right. He's not exactly one word about happening. To tell you the truth, I'm certain our remember this. But you know where I can find it too.
Well. So you do have a passion for astronomy. Von and stories. You want to concentrate. Politics and art that requires all one's attention. Refrain from writing yourself in and leave stories to the poets.
What can I say? I'm only...
And for all, I'm sure you have that with these effects.
Perfect. Thank you. I will do.
Leave now.
See you later.
glad you're here.
Blasted. He's gonna talk about my mother.
Come and see what I found. There were pieces of paper in the ashes of Virginia. Someone had been burning something here.
Incredible. He doesn't seem to speak to me about what happened between my mother and the Hillsborough sisters. Show me a little.
Look, it's possible to distinguish two different writing styles.
That's the correspondence between my mother and Emma.
Someone tried burning messages. I suspect there must be more.
Shit. What is he doing? I see. I know what it's about.
Do you know who was doing their communicating in this room?
Yes, but of course we must keep it to ourselves because it is still a sensitive matter. Volner and Elizabeth had an affair. Volner hinted that he found a way to remain discreet about it. I admit it is ingenious.
Well, I would never have guessed.
Delighted to have helped, but I still have to find my mother.
Of course. We shall see each other later in that case.
Wasted enough time. A Bible. On Dante's paradise. Raise your head and be reassured. What comes up here from the mortal world was riper than our rays. The chest with the occult symbols resonating in the air.
The Bible's still there.
So, good. You've managed to gather all the keys.
Yes, that's right. I have everything. What should I start with?
Place the Clement III cross on the console. Then you have to put the nails on the disc of the door.
All right, my turn now.
Go ahead, impress me. I'll shut up and let you concentrate.
The fresco clearly shows the birth of Christ.
Louis, I can assure you that that is not the solution to this enigma. This fresco's only purpose is to mislead. I know that now. Please, focus on another theme about Christ.
We'll have to trust her. You could see that the paint has come off in parts. Difficult to see what was there, but I can distinguish the letters N-R-I. Nothing more. Why, of course. I-N-R-I. Jesus Nazarenus Rex Eudorum. These initials stand for Jesus the Nazarene, King of the Jews. This is the inscription which appears on the cross at the crucifixion of Jesus. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. There are 3 styles of writing, and I've got 3 nails. There must be a link. I must surely put in 1 nail per category. Clearly, we have names of towns, Arabian numerals, and Roman numerals. The cross is stuck in the mechanism. I can't do anything. The cycle of the moons has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. This exegesis contains comments from Judas on the different Gospels. It only contains certain chapters and verses, and the chapters are indicated by Roman numerals. The lexicon refers to different chapters and verses from the exegesis of Judas. Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. Chapter 14, verse 22. And as they did eat, Jesus took bread and blessed and broke it, and gave to them and said, "Take, eat. This is my body." And he took the cup, and when he'd given thanks, he gave it to them, and they all drank of it. Chapter 14, verse 22. On the 7th of Nisan, 3793, Jesus shared his Last Supper in the Cenacle in Jerusalem. It looks like there are 3 types of inscriptions. These towns have one thing in common. They're all related to the life and death of Jesus. For example, Jordan is the place of the baptism of Christ. Chapter 3, verse 18. Words truly pronounced in Apagash. Chapter 3, verse 18. He that believeth in him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. Chapter 5, verse 2. Jesus cures the sick and lame on the 8th of Adar, 3791, in Jerusalem, at the pool of Bethesda. All stand and fling away their canes. Chapter 5, verse 2. Now, there is at Jerusalem, by the sheep market, a pool, which is called, in the Hebrew tongue, Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of the blind, halting, and withered, waiting for the moving of the water. Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath. It works!
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
There must surely be a connection between the wheels. This wheel contains several symbols made up of one or two figures and one letter. The highest figure does not exceed 31, and each letter corresponds to a month of the year. A for April, and M for March. I think these symbols must represent a specific date. There are different icons on this wheel, but it looks like some of them can't be connected to the other wheels. Now, given the difference between the number of icons and the number of towns, I think that only one path connects all the wheels with one another. Let's try to connect the theme I've chosen with the rest. Mother, what do you think?
As I told you, I didn't get that far. Nevertheless, these icons do represent moments in the life of Christ.
It works.
Well done, Louis. I hadn't seen those other wheels. Try connecting the theme to see if it goes all the way.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck.
The moon's shadow moves from west to east.
During new moon, the moon is entirely in the shadow. Then, the shadow moves from west to east, meaning left to right, and goes through the following states: waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, last quarter, waning crescent, and the cycle starts over with the full shadowed new moon.
'30th of Ramadan, 554, waning crescent. '6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent. 7th of Shaban, 607, first quarter. 6th of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent. 6th of Lyar, 3789, waxing crescent. Twentieth of Du al-Hajjah, 561, waning gibbous. Sixth of Rajab, 611, waxing crescent.
I can feel the lever at the bottom.
Good luck. I never doubted you, my son.
I sense that Mr. Peru is about to surprise us too.
I believed in him. I followed him to the best of my ability. I championed his ideas, I defended his decisions, and then, without even realizing it, I became lost.
Now that I've told you everything, you want to take my place, do you? No. I am Emily. You are wasting your time. Louis knows very well how to tell us apart.
Someone had the bang coming from the Duchess's room, and she isn't answering.
Louis, you really must learn to conceal your weaknesses better, if you don't want your foes to use them against you.
Our desire is to steer the destiny of our respective countries for the good of all, and to no longer suffer the random hazards of history.
It is the natural order of things, Monsieur de Richet. There have always been men who govern other men. That is simply the way it is.
History forgets them with a disconcerting facility. No one speaks about them, and yet they whisper in the ears of kings and presidents. But where are we?
I don't know, but we better not hang around. careful, Mother. As if me saying that will make any difference. Knowing Mortimer, I wouldn't be surprised if he rigged his crypt with traps.
So you think the door is not enough?
Do you want to wager your other hand?
You've got a point there. We have to find that weapon. What do you know about the Holy Lance?
The what?
The Lance of Longinus the Centurion.
Oh, that? That's what we come to find? The lance that a centurion stuck in the side of Christ at his crucifixion?
That's it.
Seriously? You don't really believe that fable, do you?
Every fable is founded on true events. I'm not saying that everything adds up, but imagine if it really did exist.
Very well. Now what?
Well, now you know what you need to find.
Pardon?
I have to get to the wharf to prepare our departure. Let's get off this cursed island as quickly as we can. We shall come back when we are ready and armed.
But hang on.
Louis, let's first get to safety. We shall come back when we have the upper hand. Fear not. You take care of getting the lance. It's imperative. I'll take care of preparing our departure.
Hang on. At least tell me everything you know about this lance.
But I have never seen it. There's nothing else I can say, Louis. Well, you can always go snooping around Mortimer's study. I remember seeing paintings of Longinus there.
Hang on a second.
What's the matter?
Why did you shoot Emily's sister?
Do you really think now is the right time for this?
All right, we'll do it your way.
One more thing. If they find you in possession of the lance, they won't let you get away with it. Choose only one and hide it under your jacket so you don't get caught with it. Then run and meet me on the wharf.
And if I get caught?
If they catch you in possession of the lance, we're all doomed. Do you understand?
Perfectly.
Good. And go talk to Piaggi. He's the one who probably knows the most about this.